iHeartRadio today. Also, AMFM, 247.com, TuneIn, iTunes, and, of course, Radio Loyalty. We've got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here on Skype. So go ahead and give us a brief introduction on yourself, Jon.
Hey, sorry, I'm getting that echo. So my name is Jon, obviously, as you just said. I am the singer / lead guitarist / last man standing, really the only one that ever was, for Fixed Fate, which is my band. I'd call it a band, but it's really me just layering things over in recordings and trying to trick people into thinking it's more than one member.
So how do we get a hold of Fixed Fate online?
So we have a website, fixedfate.com. I usually recommend that people just look on Facebook. If you type in Fixed Fate and ignore the card trick that comes up called Fate Fixed that I've been competing with for, the top of the Google search results for a good 10 years now. You skip right past that one, and then it's pretty much any social media except Instagram we're on. And also any major streaming platform if you're trying to look up the music.
Fantastic. The band Fixed Fate with us today. They join us live here on our big program. So how did you guys get together as a group? Tell me a little bit about this.
Well, it started out as a high school band that I was always sort of the primary runner where, I would sing and play the lead guitar, write all the songs and stuff, and generally kind of conduct where the path of the band was going. And then when high school ended, it was one of the, everybody's going off in different directions. So it quickly turned into actually being a solo project. And I had already put music out under the name, and I was, again, writing all the music, and it essentially was a solo project with a drummer and a bassist behind me, and a second guitarist, I should say. And it really just turned into, well, I'm going to use this name, and because I like it and I created it and it's, my thing, and I'm going to run forward with it, hopefully with the intent of having a full band in the future.
That's awesome. Awesome. Fixed Fate with us today. They join us live here on our big program. So what would you categorize the style of music as, my friend?
I usually just say rock. It covers the spectrum of, you can have something real soft and acoustic and just kind of mellow. And then I would say we don't have any recorded thrash songs, but it gets up to ideally that level of heaviness, like right up to the point that you're not screaming in heavy music. It's that's the cutoff.
That's awesome. It is Fixed Fate. They join us today here on our big program. So what are some of your goals as far as music and all that? What are you hoping to accomplish with your music, man?
Oh, well, I am also a teacher, so I just realized this webcam's been off this whole time.
No, you're good. You're good, my friend. You're good.
I am also a teacher, so my long-term goal really with the whole thing is to just release music and ideally have a chance to see the world just by traveling and playing music and impacting people with the songs if they hear it and it's actually something that strikes a chord with them and they want to hear it again, and then they come out to a show that seems like it would be the ultimate kind of gratification for the whole thing. But it's not really so much money driven, because a lot of the time I'm afraid that once money gets behind it, people are going to start kind of dictating how it's supposed to sound, and we're going to market it this way so it should sound like this, and it's more like, I'll just have a second career and write songs and hope that people listen to it.
That's awesome. It is Fixed Fate. Join us today here on our big program. So you guys do a lot of social media. What's been the reaction to your music on social media?
It's mixed. I mean, it's tough to get people to pay attention, to be honest. I'm sort of stuck in this weird dual thing right now with Facebook, where I do anytime I play a show, I'll live stream it and just put it out there, because there's more people on Facebook now than dead people than people that were alive in the 1800s. Awesome. It's so, I can have 20 people show up to a bar, and then I can Facebook live stream it and have 3 billion people possibly see it. But it's sometimes you throw them up there and it gets 3 reactions and it's gone. But it's also a cool timestamp that people can go back and listen to. And once in a while, you'll get one where people, you get a bunch of shares and it actually gets a sort of reaction. I like the ones where you just get random people kind of commenting back and forth to each other with no context, or like, it's just strange to see people that I don't know interacting with me on social media, I guess.
That's great. That's great. We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here in our broadcast. So, with Fixed Fate, where do you see yourself in like 5 years?
Ideally, I need to build up the way that I'm home recording, okay. Which maybe that would turn into owning a studio if I can manage that, or get somebody in on a project with that where they would build it with me. My biggest problem has always been how, like, I love all my songs. I'm a little biased, but the stuff I put out there, I put it out because I genuinely believe it's a good song, but a lot of them, the sound quality suffers, or it's just not what it could have been because, you're recording in a bedroom or in like a frozen cabin that you have to open the stove to heat the room up. That would be ideally what I'm doing, because I have at least 5 more albums already half written that I want to start going on, but it's just not quite the same when you're sitting on your bed and then you finish doing an assignment or something, and then you roll over and you're in your studio too. So
what is hilarious about that is we used to our old studio. I had a professional wrestler by the name of the Mangler, nicknamed it the Swiss Army apartment, because it was my kitchen, it was a bedroom, it was a studio, it was a little bit of everything. So, So, with Fixed Fate, what are you hoping that the folks that pay attention to your music are you wanting to sell music, get downloads at the end of the day? What is the goal there, I guess?
Well, hey, selling it's cool, if I can manage that. But especially now with the lack of business value that an actual recording holds compared to what it used to, I'm more about just, I'll throw it out there, and if it's getting pirated on a random website, that's great. Somebody wanted to hear it. So I just want it to spread, essentially, as far as the listening perspective. I'm not too caught up anymore in let me sell 1,000 CDs or whatever, 100,000, a million. It'd be great. I won't lie, that'd be pretty awesome. But it's I look at it now as almost, you hear these, and I'm sure there's a million other bands that look at it this way too. That's essentially what the industry's turned into, is you throw this stuff out there and it either strikes with people and they like it and want to now come see you live, or it doesn't do anything. So it's essentially an advertisement for coming out to the concerts, which is just a big party.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here on iHeartRadio and also AMFM247.com. Tune in, iTunes, and of course you can get live video at our website, which is JIGGYGHEYR.com. So you've got the music. You're at some point wanting to put a band together. Mm-hmm. How did you get to that goal?
Well, my biggest obstacle before was always, I just finished college, so my biggest obstacle was always, I'd be in one city for 3 months, and then I'm gone for another 6 in a different town, and then I come back and work in a different place for another few months, and it was really difficult to consistently nail down people to practice with if you see them 25% of the year. So I think now the way it would go about is playing out. You meet people consistently at the same places. I actually one of my side things that I do just for fun to have extra shows on when we start doing a lot of shows again is I do like a duo acoustic cover group with a guy that he lives way up, so it's not something where he would want to join the band, but it's doing stuff like that where you can kind of show off that you can learn covers, and you're not trying to convince somebody on an original song, and it's something that they just recognize and look for fun. I could see that striking up the initial conversation too, if you have that shared root of influence. But I think just playing out and constantly making fun of the fact that this has been a solo project forever will hopefully prompt people to join. I'm a nice guy, I'm not a dictator in the studio or anything.
That's great. Well, before we let you go, my friend, how do we get in touch with you online, get your music, everything else, man?
Well, most of that stuff is all linked at fixedfate.com, but all my music is on major streaming platforms. I believe it's also posted on YouTube. Yeah, pretty much any of the social media accounts, or you can just look up Jon Bessette if you found me interesting enough to want to add me. And I'm the one holding a guitar.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for coming on our big broadcast, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you, Jon.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, brother. There he goes, Jon Bessette, and Fixed Fate. Check us out online at JiggyJaguar.com.